Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is a draft recap from my 12-team PPR draft that happened yesterday as you are watching this video. It is a typical roster construction: one quarterback, two running backs, two wideouts, tight end, flex, kicker, defense, and I think six bench spots. So before I start the video, I'd like to ask you guys, could please click that subscribe button. Not only will it mean a lot to me, but it's going to also mean a lot to you because I'm going to help you guys dominate your draft. That will help you dominate the regular season. That would help you dominate the offseason by making correct trades, waiver wires, matchups, streams, all of that. So, if you could please do that, that would really mean a lot to me because I'm going to help you guys win your fantasy football championship. Now, if you don't already have a championship trophy, belt, ring, any of that, check out my sponsor down below, fantasybros.com. If you use code Notorious at checkout, you get 5% off. It's down in the description. So, this draft, I'm going to pretty much just give you a recap of what happened from every single pick through all 15 rounds, then give draft grades of each and every single team, give you input on each player that has been picked, or not every single player, but just some thoughts on if any picks were strange, if I would have done something completely different. So, the first pick of the draft was Saquon Barkley, followed by CMC, Alvin Kamara, Zeke. Pretty typical there. Will I draft Zeke right now? Four? Probably not. Am I nervous about the holdout? Yes. Do I think he will sign by week one? Yes, but I'm still kind of nervous, so I don't know if I would draft Zeke there. At the fifth pick was Todd Gurley. Very early for Todd Gurley, considering he has that knee arthritis. I would very much avoid Todd Gurley at that draft spot. At six is David Johnson. Pretty typical there. And then my pick, I'm at seven. My team name is Rub My Chubb because you can rub my chub, okay, if you know what I'm saying. So, seventh pick was Devonte Adams. Pretty normal there. I got the best wide receiver available. Could have went with DeAndre Hopkins, but I prefer Adams. Eighth pick, Pat Mahomes. That's very early for Pat Mahomes, but like I tell you guys, I play in some normal leagues, some casual leagues. You know, this is for money. I put like $30 in this, but at the exact same time, you need to understand that even when you're putting $30 into a league, you still have some crazy mo fuckers. You know what I'm saying? Some mo fuckers that'll be doing that. So, Pat Mahomes, then followed by Lev Bell, D Hop, Julio Jones, Mike Evans. So just to keep in mind, guys, I'm drafting. I live in New Jersey, so I'm drafting with a bunch of people that are fans of the Giants and the Jets. I'm personally a Dolphins fan. There's someone in here that's a Cowboys fan, but I think everyone else, another Dolphins fan, two Dolphins fans, and a bunch of Giants and Jets fans, and one Cowboy fan, like I said. So all these picks were pretty normal except for Mahomes and Gurley, who would not draft that early. So, the first pick of the second round was Travis Kelsey, followed by James Conner, Joe Mixon, OBJ, Juju, Chubb, Cook, Hill, Carrion, Damian Williams, George Kittle, and then I went with Mike. Oh, no, and then Mike Evans was selected. My pick was Chubb at pick 18, which is pretty normal. For me, I love getting Chubb. I like him more than Cook, Carrion, and D. Will. Now, D. Will looks like he could be amazing. He scored a touchdown yesterday as you're watching this video in the preseason game. He looks like he could be amazing, but you have to handcuff him with Darwin Thompson, and that does kind of scare me. So, the beginning of the third round is taken off with Aaron Jones being selected, followed by Keenan Allen, Zach Ertz, Cooper, Antonio Brown, OJ Howard, and then I went with Chris Carson here. I think Chris Carson is going to have an amazing season. He's very safe. He is going to be great because the Seahawks run the ball so much, and apparently he's going to be getting that up passing down work. Followed by T.Y. Hilton, who now, as you guys know, I made a video yesterday about Andrew Luck retiring. At the end of this video, if you haven't seen that, watch that. I talk about how I think T.Y. Hilton will take a hit. Any of the wide receivers, Ebron, Funchess, Paris Campbell will all take a hit, so I wouldn't be drafting any of those guys. I still think you can draft Hilton, but just not as high as in the third round here. That was it's the third round, so I would not do that. Hilton, followed by Evan Ingram, Adam Thielen, Jared Cook, and Josh Jacobs, all pretty normal. Like I said, Giants fans, they will go Evan Ingram early. So, with the fourth round beginning, Julian Edelman came out the board, followed by Henry, Marlon Mack. Now, Marlon Mack is the case of, I don't know if his draft stock, or if his value is really too hurt by the fact that now it's Jacoby Brissett. It probably is because Andrew Luck will be able to sling the ball down the field and get them in a scoring position. But I still think Jacoby Brissett is not terrible, so I think Marlon Mack will still be pretty fine, if not some just count his numbers as slightly worse than what you originally thought. He's still probably worth a fourth round pick. Robert Woods, Kenyon Drake, very early for Drake, considering he's in a walking boot. So I went with David Montgomery, one of my favorite running backs to target around the fourth round. I love his upside on Chicago. I think he's going to be the running back one. I think he's going to be being a passing down back. He's going to be catching passes. So I love him in PPR. This is a PPR league. Followed by Aaron Rodgers, Ebron, very early for Ebron. Now, even then, before Andrew Luck retired, that was early. Then Cooper Cup got selected, followed by Tyler Lockett, Deshaun Watson, Devontae Freeman, all pretty normal here. Now into the fifth round, we got Diggs, Brandon Cooks, Tyler Boyd, James White, Goff very early, Leonard Fournette, and then I went with Chris Godwin. I already had three running backs on my team, so I figured I would pair Mr. Devontae Adams with Chris Godwin, a wide receiver that I love. Not the Jags. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be down in games because their defense is god awful. They're going to be slinging the ball, trying to score them touchdowns towards the ends of the games, and that means that they're going to be throwing the ball, like I said. And Chris Godwin could come down with some nice touchdowns, and he's going to be looking to really step up this year. After last year, he played pretty solid, but now it's just the Mike Evans and Godwin show since Mr. Humphries is gone. So after Chris Godwin, Philip Lindsay came out the board, followed by Drew Brees, Sony Michel, Jarvis Landry, and Mark Ingram. Okay, so the first pick of the sixth round was Lamar Miller. Proved to be a terrible pick. His ACL got torn about 20 minutes before this pick happened. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to say anything. And then once Lamar Miller got picked, we absolutely clowned him for doing it. It's quite the pick to be making there after his ACL, or he got hurt. We didn't know his ACL was torn, but now reports came out that his ACL has been torn, so don't draft Lamar Miller and draft Duke Johnson. Okay, so after Lamar Miller went, Baker came off the board, followed by Njoku, very early for Njoku, in my opinion, followed by LaShawn McCoy, probably the worst pick of the draft, if I'm being honest. Picking LaShawn McCoy in the sixth round is terrible. Now, Lamar Miller had potential to potentially come back. That's also a terrible pick, but LaShawn McCoy is just going to be just as useless as Lamar Miller, most likely, this season, followed by Greg Olson very early for him. Miles Sanders is the guy I selected. I love Miles Sanders' upside being the rookie running back in Philly. Now, I don't know necessarily. Week one, he is probably going to be the starter, but even if he isn't, I believe he will break past Jordan Howard and become the starter a couple weeks in the season and be pretty solid. After I went with Miles Sanders, Galladay came out the board, followed by Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon went in the sixth round. His ADP has been falling. A lot of people are pulling the trigger in the third round. I don't even want to pull the trigger in the sixth round, but who knows? He probably has some solid value there if he plays 8 games. After Melvin Gordon went, Hunter Henry went, followed by Duke Johnson, because then they figured out that Lamar Miller was fucked, so they went with Duke Johnson, sixth round, kind of early. But who knows, really? This may be about where he goes now. After Duke went, Tariq went off the board, followed by Matty Ice. And at the beginning of the seventh round comes with Vance McDonald, followed by DJ Moore, Russell Wilson, Tevin Coleman, Allen Robinson, Alshon Jeffrey. I went with Mike Williams, wide receiver, LA Chargers. I think he has some definite upside with Keenan Allen potentially being injured, and he definitely has that injury proneness to him. So I like having Mike Williams here, a guy who scored 10 touchdowns last year. Philip Rivers is going to be throwing the ball, slinging the rock a lot more, in my opinion, now that Melvin Gordon is out. Likely for 8 games, do that holdout. Flash Gordon got picked after that. Like I've been saying, guys, Flash Gordon's going to go around the sixth, or around the seventh or eighth round, maybe even the sixth round of your draft. So don't be surprised at that. Followed by Sterling Shepard, Carson Wentz, Sammy Watkins, and Austin Eckler. Now in the eighth round, Emmanuel Sanders got picked, followed by Jordan Howard, AJ Green, Andrew Luck. Also a terrible pick because now Andrew Luck is hurt. We didn't know Andrew Luck, not hurt, retired. He was hurt, now retired. We didn't know he was retired when he made this pick, so I guess not too terrible, but I wouldn't have picked him anyways because he was hurt. First defense comes off the board, I believe, being the Steelers, very early for them, but that's just me. Followed by Latavius Murray by Mr. Nick. Obviously, that's me. I love Latavius Murray because I think that he's going to get in to be a solid flex option. He'll be the running back 2 on the team. He'll touch the ball 10, 11 times a game, potentially vulture a touchdown, maybe catch a pass, and be pretty solid as your flex. And if Alvin Kamara was to go down, he will be amazing. Followed by Calvin Ridley, Kareem Hunt. Terrible pick, too early for him. I think if you're drafting Kareem Hunt, you're honestly just wasting a pick. Followed by Rashad Penny, D.D. Westbrook, love D.D., Peyton Barber, Robbie Anderson. I was very pissed when D.D. Westbrook came off the board because I wanted him. Darius Geis, followed by Christian Kirk at the beginning of the ninth. Austin Hooper, Curtis Samuel, Rams, Bears. Bears were the third defense off the board. Kind of crazy. I went with Mark Andrews, tight end of Baltimore now. I know a lot of people are falling down on him. I still think he's going to be solid, and there's a lot of question marks with a lot of these tight ends that go later. So we are going to go and take, or we would just took him there. So we're not going to go and take him because this draft already happened. So Jack McKinnon came off the board after, followed by Mohamed Sanu, Houston Texans, Royce Freeman, Larry Fitzgerald. After Fitzgerald came off the board, Brady came off the board, followed by Corey Davis, Kalen Ballage, Tony Pollard, Marvin Jones, and then I went with Justin Jackson because I think this may be a little early for Jackson, but I wanted to make sure I got him because I know I could start him for the first 8 weeks, and if anything was to happen to any of my running backs, I could even trade him to the Melvin Gordon owner if I wanted and secure probably a top receiver if I make the trade correct. After Justin Jackson, Greg Zuerlein, first kicker off the board in the 10th round, very early. N'Keal Harry, Darwin Thompson, great pick there to handcuff Damian Williams, even though he didn't have Damian Williams. Followed by D-Jax, Will Fuller, Matt Burita. The 11th round starts with Dante Moncrief, kind of a reach there, followed by Derek Carr. A lot of if you guys haven't noticed, people are picking quarterbacks like they are going to go out of style. People have multiple quarterbacks by I believe like the 8th round, people started taking two quarterbacks, and I still held all the way to the 11th round to pick mine. DC, followed by Hines. I believe Hines got cut today. If I can't, or no, Dante Foreman got cut, not Hines, I believe. But Hines probably not going to be too useful. Cortland Sutton. Okay. Cortland Sutton, Will Lutz, Pettis, and I went with Cam Newton. Obviously, he has that injury, but he was the best quarterback available by far, and I decided to back him up with a different quarterback later in the draft. After I went with Cam Newton, Rosas came out the board, followed by Tucker, Geronimo and Kirk Cousins, Philip Rivers. Proved to be a good decision to pull the trigger on a quarterback because one would not have fallen to me back in my spot. Delaney Walker came out the board, followed by Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Jordan Reed, Quincy Anunwa, Jimmy G Spot. I went with Kiki Cootie for the upside of when he comes back, potentially being a guy that I could start as my flex. MVS, Darrell Henderson, Anthony Miller, Big Ben, Trey Burton, and AP. In the 13th round, I did something that I normally don't do. So let's talk about that once I get to it. So Kyler Murray came with the board pretty late for Kyler. Great value there. Gostowski, Browns, Ravens, Rojo. Don't like Rojo due to that injury. Golden Tate. I went with Bucker. Typically, I don't go kicker until like the 14th or 15th round, but I was feeling a bit dangerous and I wanted to see what happens if I went with the top kicker here and waited to get my backup quarterback in the next round. Typically, I don't go backup quarterback, but when you go with Cam Newton, who may miss game one, I am nervous about that. So after with Bucker, Ted Ginn came off the board, followed the Giants defense. I don't know why you'd ever draft the Giants defense. Jalen Samuel, Jags, Chargers. But like I say, Giants fans are crazy. Followed by Justice Hill at the beginning of the 14th, Robbie Gould, Michael Badgley, Jimmy Graham, Deion Lewis, Josh Allen was my backup quarterback. I wanted Famous Jameis, but Famous Jameis had the same bye week as Cam Newton. Followed by Michael Gallup, James Washington, Dak Prescott, Minnesota Vikings, Patriots, Ito Smith, and the 15th round, Kai Fairbairn, Tyrell Williams, Mason Crosby, Jake Elliott, Lamar Jackson, Famous Jameis. I went the Cowboys because they were playing the Giants week 1, Redskins week 2, Dolphins week 3. Three solid matchups in a row. Followed by Jalen Richard, Saints, Kissin Titty Trubisky, Crowder, and Brett Maher. So that concludes the draft section of the video. So if you guys have enjoyed already, please click that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me, and it's going to help you as well. So now we are going to go through the recap of the draft from each team and give each team a draft grade. So first pick, Luca Brasi, my own father. Actually, how could you believe that? Okay, so he went with Saquon. Second round, Mike Evans, Aaron Jones, Freeman, Diggs. Great start. Three great running backs. I don't really love Freeman, but he did handcuff him later with Ito, so that's pretty solid there. Stefan Diggs I like. Matt Ryan I like in a 6-point passing touchdown league. Vance McDonald, pretty solid there. Robbie Anderson I like. I don't really like Geis all that much, but I guess I'm willing to pick him there later due to the fact that I like Darius Geis. I don't really like him as a player. I don't really like him in fantasy, but I liked how he played in the preseason game, so I figure that's fine. And then Matt Breida, he picked Matt Breida. Matt Breida's a great pick, did good in the preseason game. Dante Moncrief was a bit of a reach. AP I like because he handcuffed him, Geis and AP together, depending on who's going to be the RB1. Kyler pretty late, I like that. And then he handcuffed Ito Smith, and he drafted a kicker. He has no defense because he forgot to cuff Ito Smith. So the second pick was you down with JJB. Let's see. Let's find this man right here. So we are gonna go. His first pick was Christian McCaffrey. Second pick, Kittle. Oh wait, I gotta give that team a grade. So I'm gonna give my own father probably I would say a B plus. Probably a B plus to an A minus range. It would probably be better, but I just can't stand. I go with B plus because I can't stand Devontae Freeman. If I'm being honest, he could be good, but he's just too injury prone for my liking. So second pick, McCaffrey. And then he went with Kittle, Keenan Allen. That's pretty early for Kittle in the second round. Keenan Allen, Deshaun Watson, Brandon Cooks, Tariq Cohen, DJ Moore, Peyton Barber, Christian Kirk, Will Fuller, Carr, Burton, Gostowski, Patriots, Tyrell Williams. He has a total of 1, 2, 3, 3 running backs. That's fucking terrible. This team is a. He started off pretty good here at the beginning, getting an elite player at each position, and then just absolutely fell off. This is a C team. Fucking terrible. Does it actually have 3 running backs? 1 running back, 2 running backs, 3 running backs. Yeah, 3 running backs. That's fucking embarrassing. You can't do that. This team's terrible. It's not even C. It's fucking D. Terrible team. Okay, so the third team is Pittsburgh Steelers. Josh. Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, we're already on it. Okay. Third pick was Alvin Kamara. Second round pick was Damian Williams, followed by Zach Ertz, Lockett, Boyd, Duke a little early for Duke, Russell Wilson a little early for Wilson, D.D. Westbrook I like, Hooper I am okay with, Deshaun Jackson, Naheem Hines, Big Ben, Rape and Murder, Cleveland Browns, Minnesota Vikings, Crosby. You can't be drafting 2 defenses. That lowers down your value. I don't love Big Ben and I don't love Lockett. Let's see how many running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least this guy has 4 running backs. This team's also not that good. I'd go with a C rating of this team. So now we're going to go with homosexual tendencies at pick 4. Went with Zeke. So went with Zeke in the first round. Carry on the second. Great start right there. If Zeke does not hold out, I don't like Amari Cooper with that heel injury, and then Cooper Kupp I don't like coming off that ACL. 2 bad picks after a good start. I like White. I like Henry. I like Tevin Coleman. I like. Okay, I'm gonna actually read off their names and then say that I like them. So was first pick was Zeke, followed by Carryon, Cooper, Kupp, oh my god, what the fuck? Cooper Kupp, it's Amari Cooper, then Cooper Kupp. 5th round, James White. 6th round, Hunter Henry, who I like. 7th round, Tevin Coleman, pretty solid value in the 7th round. 8th round, Rashad Penny, I also still like, even though a lot of people are off of him since Chris Carson is going to be so good. I love Chris Carson, but I do definitely like Curtis Samuel. Followed by Darwin Thompson in the 10th, Cortland Sutton, Anthony Miller, Baltimore Ravens, Dak, and Jake Elliott. I don't necessarily love Dak in a 6-point per passing touchdown league as your only quarterback, but I don't mind waiting that long quarterback. This team is definitely pretty solid. I'd give this team probably a B plus. Okay, now 5th team, Giants Throne. Let's see, where is he at? Okay, Giants Throne. Todd Gurley with his pick 5. His second pick was Hill, AB. Then Ebron absolutely turned his draft from probably pretty good to flat out fucking terrible, followed by Jared Goff, and just 2 terrible picks. Melvin Gordon's going to be irrelevant probably. Al Robinson was an okay pick, followed by another useless pick of Kareem Hunt. The LA Rams defense in the 9th round is fucking stupid. N'Keal Harry should be pretty good. Will Lutz way too early for a kicker. Darrell Henderson should be pretty good. Ronald Jones injured. James Washington's terrible. Lamar Jackson's fine. This team's fucking bad too. D plus. I can't stand this team. I don't like going Todd Gurley that early. That's just a waste of a 5th pick, in my opinion. You could have gotten DJ, Adams, Hopkins, someone who could actually help you. Okay, so the 6th pick was the Blitzers or some shit. Yeah, the Blitzers. Okay, so they went with David Johnson in the 1st round, followed by Dalvin Cook, great start. OJ Howard way too early in the 3rd round, followed by Rodgers, good pick. I don't like Fournette in the I don't like Fournette, but the 5th round is definitely decent value for him. 6th round, Kenny Galladay. 7th round, Alshon Jeffrey, who I don't like. 8th round, Calvin Ridley, great value. Bears defense in the 9th, kind of early, but better than the other picks. People made it defenses even earlier than that. Greg Zuerlein, early for a kicker. Dante Pettis, okay, who really knows what he's going to be this year, but the 11th round is pretty solid for him. MVS, pretty good pick in the 12th. Golden Tate, fine in the 13th. 14th, Gallup. 15th, Jameis. So those teams, okay, but he has 1, 2, 3. Okay, he has 3 running backs. I don't know what these teams' affection is for not going running backs. This team fucking sucks too, actually. Only 3 running backs. That's terrible. This team gets a C minus. Fucking terrible. These people are really disappointing me here. This is how I win all my fucking leagues. Apparently, I'm just playing with a bunch of goddamn people with a bunch of holes in their goddamn heads. So 7th pick was me, my team. Obviously, you already know this is gonna be the best fucking team in the draft. Team rub my goddamn Chubb. First pick Devontae Adams, followed by Chubb, followed by Chris Carson in the 3rd, Montgomery in the 4th, Chris Godwin in the 5th, Miles Sanders in the 6th. I love that. Mike Evans in the 7th, Latavius in the 8th. Mark Andrews in the 9th, Justin Jackson in the 10th, great value there on him. 11th with Cam Newton, kind of a risky pick, probably the most risky pick I made all night. I still do like it though, because if he is healthy, he could be a top 5 guy for all those weeks that he's healthy. If not, we'll play Mr. Josh Allen with the big dick. You know, Josh Allen has the big arm too to go along with his humongous cock. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That dude's crazy. I love Josh Allen. He like slams his dick into the ground every time he throws the ball. He absolutely hurdled the shit out of that one guy on the Vikings last year. It was amazing. So I love pairing both of them together. So after I went with Newton, I went with Kiki Cootie for the upside that when he gets back from that injury, he's pretty solid. It could be a flex option. Harrison Bucker, probably a little early for a kicker, but I wanted to see what happens if I get that elite kicker there, even though kickers aren't even really elite, but you know what I mean, like a top 5 kicker every week, followed by Josh Allen and then Dallas Cowboys defense against the Giants. I love my team. This team is pretty fucking textbook. I'd give it an A. Probably as good as it could have gotten. I did get sniped at certain positions, so the team didn't end up being an A plus, but it's definitely an A to A minus. There, eighth pick, DKS. Let's see. They went with Pat Mahomes first. Their second pick was Juju, followed by T.Y. Hilton. Kenyon Drake, way too early for that. Philip Lindsay, I don't like. Greg Olsen, too early. Josh Gordon, I like. Steelers, way too early. McKinnon on the PUP, can't really be doing that. Marvin Jones, pretty good. Rosas, too early. Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't really like too much. Ted Ginn, Deion Lewis, Jalen Richard. This team's like a C minus. I think Pat Mahomes may be able to carry them, but like I always say, Pat Mahomes can't really carry your team, so I'm gonna go with a C minus there. If they drafted someone real in the first round, probably could have been a C plus. But overall, I don't really love it, so C minus. Ninth pick, Le'Veon Bell, Golden Elite Raiders. In this league, I won last year also, just so you guys know. A huge flex over here. All right, so the first pick was Le'Veon Bell, followed by OBJ. Evan Ingram, way too fucking early, but these guys are Giants fans. Robert Woods, I love that. Breeze, pretty good value in the fifth round. Actually, I don't really love it in the fifth round, but I mean, the quarterbacks were flying off the board, so you got to pull the trigger early if you wanted that kind of a guy. LaShawn McCoy, worst pick of the goddamn draft. Sterling Shepard, followed by Andrew Luck. I don't even know why you would draft Breeze and then go Luck in the eighth. Like, that's just irrelevant. Fuck, that's just stupid, even though Luck retired way too early for Sanu in the ninth. Like Pollard in the 10th, even though he doesn't even have Zeke. Justin Tucker kind of early. Quincy Newton was terrible. Giants defense is terrible. Don't draft two defenses that docks you points. Jimmy Graham. This team's a let's see how many running backs they have. One, two, three. What the actual fuck? This team has 3 running backs. This team's an F. F. This team fucking blows. Oh my god, guys. I don't know what is happening. F. F. Okay. Team 10, Belichick Film School. Went with D-Hop at 1. Let's see. I'm legally blind. Where are they? Belichick Film School. Okay, here we go. It was the Belichick Film School. Pick 1, or first pick in the 10th round. First round, pick 10, D-Hop, followed by Mixon, Adam Thielen, Marlon Mack, great start there. Sony Michel, okay value in the 5th round. I like him, but the fact that he's so injury prone does scare me, so that's why I don't really draft him. Njoku, way too early. I don't like Wentz. I don't like AJ Green, but I mean, it's okay value in the 8th round. Texans, way too early. Kalen Balaj, good pick. John Allison, good pick. Jordan Reed's concussed. Dylan Samuels, okay pick. Didn't draft Connor, so I don't really see a need in handcuffing someone. I don't think Jalen Samuels is going to get all that much use. Michael Badgley, kissing Teddy Trubisky. This team's pretty solid. They also only have 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they have 5 running backs. That's actually pretty good. So this team's B to B plus range. This is a pretty good team. Pick 11, Chronic Master Deflator. Where are they at though? Chronic Master Deflator. Pick 11, Julio, followed by James Conner, then Jared Cook in the 3rd, way too early for Cook. Derrick Henry, I don't like. Jarvis Landry, paired with Baker Mayfield. I like doing I like doing pairs where you like stack 2 players on the same team. So that's a tip up in my mind. Even though I don't like Cook and Henry. Sammy Watkins, Jordan Howard a little too early for him, but I obviously if you think he's going to be the starter, go ahead and pick him. I personally don't. I think it's going to be Sanders, Rolls Royce. I like him. Hate Corey Davis. Kirk is solid as a backup, kind of early for a backup though. But like I said, the quarterbacks were flying out fast. You kind of had to do it with Kyle Rudolph, backup tight end, which is okay. Jags defense, which I'm not even going to comment on. That's fine, I guess, in the 13th round. Typically, I like going defense in the 14th or 15th, but that's just me. Robbie Gould, solid value in the 14th. James Crowder, I don't really like. This team is a B to B minus. I hate Cook and Henry, but the rest of the team is honestly just pretty solid. Okay. And the final team, Team 12, FFL Fanatic, my fellow Dolphin fan. Where they at? Right here. All right, pick 12, Michael Thomas. Second round, come back in the second round with Travis Kelsey, great start there. Josh Jacobs, Julian Edelman, tremendous start here at the beginning of the draft. Followed by Mark Ingram, who I don't really like. Lamar Miller, torn ACL. Austin Eckler, okay pick. Emmanuel Sanders, a little too early for him. Larry Fitz, getting old. I don't like Brady. I don't like going Brady and Philip Rivers, two of the most boring quarterbacks in fantasy. They're both just going to be okay every single week, not really going to give you that fantasy boner, when you start them. You're just kind of just sitting there, just allowing it to happen, and you just fucking watch, and they're just okay. Followed by Delaney Walker, Chargers D a little early. I love Justice Hill, Brett Maher. This team had a great start. This is a B team. So thank you guys all for watching the video. If you did end up enjoying, I'll leave my team up and I'll scroll down so you guys can look at it again. Thank you guys all for watching. I love each and every one of you motherfuckers who watch all of these videos, who continue to support me. It really means a lot, guys. We're near 800 subscribers as I'm recording this. It would really mean a lot to me if we can hit 800 subscribers pretty soon. Thank you guys all for watching. I love every single one of you, like I said. Goodbye, guys.